The question everybody seems to be asking is, when it comes to content marketing, how much is too much? You've been told over and over again, give away all your best ideas for free and produce lots of useful, generous, unselfish content on social media. Build a following. They will buy from you at some point. But how much is too much content? It's a legitimate question. Is there a point where you have saturated your followers' desire for information, and so they will never buy your book or your digital course, your coaching, or your services? This is the most common question I hear, and the most common advice given by marketing gurus is some variation of teach them what to do, but make them pay for the how to do it. That doesn't work anymore. In the past, I have recommended that very approach, but I've always felt it was not satisfactory and it was at least a little bit manipulative. Besides, these days there are no longer any secrets. The value of how-to information is plummeting towards zero. If I want to know how to do something, I can easily find out for free using Google or ChatGPT or some other source. So withholding the how is no longer a viable long-term strategy. What do you do then? A better response to the question of how much is too much to give away goes something like this. Give them information that is useful but incomplete. I can see the villain twirling his mustachios. I have also given this advice in the past. But here's a next level question I want to encourage you to ask. Ask, what could you give away which actually helps your perfect customers with the exact problem they're trying to solve right now before they've ever spent $1 with you? Don't freak out. Stick with me. What can you give away in your content marketing that helps your perfect customers, even and especially the ones who don't even know you yet, but your content marketing helps them immediately solve their problem, helps them in the short term, and it helps you in the long term? Because those satisfied people you've already helped will someday come back to you and pay actual money for your products and services. I can hear you right now asking, Ray, that sounds really nice, but I need money in the short term. I can't wait for the long term. Fair enough. And here's some good news. What if someday can often be the same day or tomorrow or next week? That's been the case in my experience and our testing. I'm not talking about giving away everything and waiting months or years. You can't stay in business that way. I'm talking about helping people for free right now by actually helping them and earning their trust. And don't worry, because I'm going to tell you in this podcast exactly what and how to do this. First, a quick example. My book, How to Write Copy That Sells. This book has done a lot for us, like giving us positioning in the marketplace, helping tens of thousands of people write their own copy for their own products and services. And this book is the cornerstone of our marketing strategy that brought in over $1 million in revenue, and it allowed us to win the coveted ClickFunnels 2 Club Award. It's right there. That's it right there. Shiny. Pretty. What has this got to do with you? Everything, my friends. This is proof of the concept of give away everything. It's going to serve you well and help you make money both in the short term, like right now, and the long term, because that's what it did for this book and for my company, and it'll work for you too. I gave away everything I knew at the time about writing copy that sells. Seriously, my whole process. In fact, when I first released the book, I got a lot of concerned communication from people in my life saying, Ray, have you thought about the fact that now nobody will need you to write their copy? At the time, I just smiled because I knew better and I was proven right. I did give away everything. all my best ideas. And the best idea I had come up with until that time in my career was the Pastor Copywriting Framework. Not only did this strategy not ruin my business, it has made us millions of dollars from people who read the book, or in most cases, let's be honest, probably skimmed the book, decided that I really do know what I'm talking about, and also decided they did not want to do all that work that's in this book. So what do they do instead? Still, to this day, they call our office and ask if we will write the copy for them. Or if not, do we have some kind of training or course they can get for one or more of their employees so that person can do all the writing for them? This is what you do. Give away lots of content and give away your best ideas. And I'm going to recommend you use something I call the UCLA method. UCLA, yes, it's not a word. UKLA, useful knowledge lacking activation. What does this mean? It means, first of all, actual useful knowledge. So you don't have to play the incomplete or secrets game. Tell them what to do and then tell them how to do it. Then let them decide if they want to do that, or if they want your help, or if they just want you to do it for them. Think about what I just said. Useful knowledge lacking activation. The fact is, once people know what to do, they don't do what they know. And why? It's because they don't know how to do it, they don't like doing it, or they can't get themselves to get started because it seems like too much work. That's where you come in. This allows you to bring the knowledge to them without trickery, without manipulation. You just tell them what to do and how to do it. Then they decide the next step. This is more honest, and I believe it's the number one best strategy ever for becoming the beloved leader in your particular niche of the market. Here are all 7 steps about how to do this. Number 1, know your audience and their primary frustration and pain points. This is the first point in my Pastor Copywriting Framework. These frustrations and this pain point, this problem, is the problem they will pay you to help them with right now. They want you to solve it for them. The very best way to do this is to identify the most frequently asked questions your perfect customers are asking. Answer those questions. The more specific, the better. For instance, one of the top 3 questions we receive at my company from clients and potential clients is the one in the title of this podcast. How much content marketing is too much? That's why we made this podcast episode. Step 2, once you know the problem your customers are asking you to solve, step 2, give the full answer. Useful knowledge, lacking activation. Now, maybe they'll activate and do it. If they do, hurrah! Celebrate with them. Don't be mad at them. They'll be back. Trust me. Step 3, teach your whole process. In your article, in your blog post, in your podcast, on your YouTube channel, wherever you're putting out content, just generously give it. Give it all. Step 4, illustrate the value. Show people what your process is worth when you put it to work. For instance, I told you earlier, this book earned us over $1 million in one funnel, and that was when we were giving the book away for free. So every book we put in someone's hands was costing us money, but we knew the value would come back, and it has, and it continues to do so. In this case, I've shown you the process I'm suggesting to you has made us over $1 million a year for the last 7 years. That's a valuable process. So step 5 is ask your audience, your readers, your viewers, why aren't you doing this? I've given you the steps. I've told you what to do. I've told you how to do it. You should do it. Or step 6, you offer to do it with them. Doing it with them means digital courses, memberships, workshops, coaching, etc., etc., etc. And step 7, repeat. Now, what about if they want you to do it for them? Well, now you have a decision to make. Do you want to do that? I suggest you do it. I suggest you ask a premium price tag for it, and we'll be covering that in the next video. Let me tell you, this is not a one-time fluke. Here's my new book. It's called Read This or Die: Persuading Yourself to a Better Life. In this book, I go into great detail about how I used my skill as a marketer and copywriter to write myself a sales campaign that got me to change my life, and it's helping me overcome the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Yeah, it's a big deal. 2, I don't just talk about the book's big question, which is, how do I deal with life, Ray? The hardest problems and also the simplest ones. How do I get myself to do what I know I should do, what I want to do, but for some reason I don't seem to do it? I give the answer in the book. No holding back. I knew from the beginning the biggest request I was going to have from readers of this book would be, can I please have a copy of that letter you wrote yourself? So we printed it in the book. We also give you an assignment at the end of every chapter to help you progress through writing your own letter to yourself to change your own life, for your reasons, not for mine. We even give away a free video mini course to buyers of the book, and it walks you through how to write your own letter to yourself. You can get that to this day by going to readthisorddiebook.com. No strings attached. So how does this Read This or Die book make us money? Well, next month, we're starting a book club where I will read through the book with the book club members, and we'll discuss it. They can ask their questions. I'll give them answers. I'll even critique their own letters that they write to themselves, help them make them more effective. And then we're going to have a live workshop in October. We're going to help them write their own storybook version of their life. That workshop will cost money, and we will continue to do those going forward. We'll also make a video recording of the whole thing and possibly sell it as a product of its own. The point is this. I'm saying, do what I'm doing. There are no secrets. I've told you everything. No secrets for sale. No telling you what to do, but not telling you how to do it, any of that sneaky stuff. So let me sum up and make sure I drive the point home clearly and concisely. The question that is the title of this episode is, content marketing, how much is too much? And my answer is, there is no too much. There is only a failure to give enough to help your followers, readers, viewers, and fans. Give generously, give freely, and be prepared to receive the rewards. This video has been about marketing, which is not the same thing as selling. Marketing is when you create content to change mindsets. In marketing, the only thing you're selling is your beliefs, your values, your rules, your worldview, your experience, your wisdom, the important stuff. How does that translate into sales? You do need a sales process, and we're going to talk about that in our next video. We'll be talking about the sales process. What's the best way to go about selling when you are marketing in the way I just described? And I'll show you everything. Are you watching this on YouTube? Then give this video a thumbs up, please. Then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the sales video I just told you about. And be sure and ask your questions or post your thoughts in the comments section under the video. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, please type in your thoughts, ideas, and questions in Spotify or wherever you receive your podcast audio from. You know that better than I. Until we meet again, here's to your prosperity. See you in the next video.